And a glorious good afternoon to each and every one of you. This is 821 from Black Roses Garden Community Radio, just with some news tips for you today. Now, I've seen on the internet the fish market in Clinton, Maryland is being boycotted. Good for you guys. Don't go in. Apologies are not enough. Folks have been apologizing to black folks since Jesus was a baby. We got to put our money where our mouth is. Don't go up in there. Vincent's Crab House in Baltimore, Maryland, while this guy got on YouTube and gave such a heartfelt, poor, pitiful me apology about folks boycotting his business and stating that 75% of his business comes from the minority community. 23 hours ago, which means just yesterday, he's suing Baltimore County because his restaurant is getting boycotted. We got to treat this just like the folks did in the 1950s with the Montgomery bus boycott. Don't go there. Stop spending your money there. Also, there was a list on the internet a few months back with several fast food restaurants, Wendy's, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut in particular. And I remember a hashtag that said, Wendy's, the party is over. While the CEO of Wendy's Corporation did not contribute to Trump's campaign, James Bodenstadt, the CEO of MUI, M-U-Y exclamation point companies, he did. He contributed $400,000 to the 2020 re-election campaign, and right in March of this year, an additional $200,000. But the MUI companies, James Bodenstadt owns franchises in Wendy's, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut, and he owns those franchises all across the country. So what I would tell you guys is, since we don't know which ones he owns, don't go to Wendy's. There ain't no whole lot to that, because you don't know whether or not you are contributing to your own oppression. I would also remind you that Home Depot, the CEO of Home Depot, that's Bernie Marcus, he is a proud contributor to the Trump campaign. His net worth, and he's in his 80s, almost 90 years old. But his net worth is $6.2 billion with a B dollars. He's given $5 billion to the Republicans and to the Trump campaign for 2020. So if you go into Home Depot, you are contributing to holding us down. If you go to any Wendy's, since you don't know which ones James Bodenstadt owns, and he does own them all across these United States, don't do Wendy's, don't do Taco Bell, don't do Pizza Hut, because you are contributing to my oppression, and I don't appreciate it. Now, there is Sheldon Adelson. Now, we know he's a casino magnate. He owns the Sands Corporation, which owns the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas, but they also have casinos in other places in the country, particularly on the East Coast in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Don't go there. Ain't no whole lot to none of this. We have to start putting our money where our mouth is. That's how we are going to save ourselves. When you find out that somebody is being racist or discriminatory to any black person, that business or that establishment would not hesitate to do the same thing to any black or brown-skinned brother or sister. So you, the people, have to stop supporting those businesses. Ain't no whole lot to that. You gotta do it. Also, That was thing one. Thing two, even though you do not see them on the news feeds across the cable news networks, folks are still out in the street all across the country. So it would behoove you still to continue to call your elected officials in the United States Senate and in the United States House of Representatives to let them know how you feel on A, the police brutality, B, on the stimulus package for Americans who are suffering as it relates to this COVID-19 and the piss poor job that this administration is doing as it relates to working to contain it. I'm trying to think of what else. We just have to continue to call, email, and when we are able to show up in those places, we got to show up. You have to keep the pedal to the metal. There is something that you can do until we see the change manifest. It's liberty and justice for all. It's not liberty and justice for everybody except black folks. That's not what it says. And we have to persist until we succeed. Again, we have to adopt the attitude that we will until we will call, we will email, we will march until there is liberty and justice for all. Until we have teachers getting paid to educate our children that we can't afford to send to private school and that kind of thing. We will until we get health care all across the board, because we are the only industrialized nation that does not have it. We will until we have kids are not hungry in the streets. We will until the homelessness issue is addressed. We will until resources are put out there for missing and murdered folks. We will until you take some of these billions of dollars you're giving to the police departments all across the country and put them in community programs. We have to refund the communities all across the country with resources that are needed so we can stop some of these the murders and the mayhems that are taking place in the streets. We have got to do this. We can't get tired. We can't get sick. We can't leave it to somebody else. It is incumbent upon us. There is something that you can do to make the change that we absolutely and positively need in our communities. And if you don't, you are the problem. You might as well be up there in Trump's camp. If you are not willing to do that little thing, you can't go anywhere anyway. So get on your phone. I know you got one. Get on your desktop and type up an email. You can get all of these telephone numbers for all of your elected officials, and I don't care what state you are in. That's public information. You can access it. Get up off your butts and do that. This is 821 from Black Roses Garden Community Radio. And I would also encourage you to look at the All In special tonight with Chris Hayes, which addresses the violence issue, the police issue in the streets. So I think that's pretty much it for me. I will talk to you guys before the week is out. I'm out. This is 821.